Today I want to talk to you about selling internationally. Is it safe? Is it even a smart thing to do? And specifically, we're talking about Amazon FBA Global Export. When you first sign up for Amazon, the default is not to be selling internationally. You're selling within the States, United States of America, and that's the limit to where you are able to ship your items from. But there's an option called FBA Global Export, which is a free service that Amazon provides that all you have to do is go into Seller Central and check that you want to enroll in FBA Global Export. There's a few things you have to fill out pretty quick just to take care of all the things that you need to do. But what it does is it opens up over 60 countries around the world that can receive your FBA inventory, that they can ship. Amazon from the United States will ship your items all over the world. So I'm not talking about sending your FBA items to other countries to be stored in their FBA warehouses. I'm talking about FBA Global Export, which is the items that are already in the United States in your inventory that are now being accessed by millions of more people in over 60 countries around the world. I think it's a no-brainer. It's something that you should do, and I'll tell you why. First of all, the benefits of setting up FBA Global Export, millions of more customers will be able to see your items. That's a huge positive. You'll have increased sales because, of course, more customers that are looking are going to lead into more sales. In fact, if you are like sharing the buy box with somebody and they are not signed up for FBA Global Export, then you're going to get the buy box from the international buyer who's looking for it because you are. So you could even possibly get more for your product than the current low price or even the current buy box price, because the buy box owner might not be set up for FBA Global Export. So it's definitely something you should do it. The other thing, it's signing up just takes minutes. I mean, it's really easy to sign up. It's free, and there's no additional fees for FBA Global Export. You're not having to have more fees taken out of your disbursement, and it's just and Amazon takes care of a lot of things. But the biggest thing, I think, is increased sales. Yeah, I already said that, but that's how important it is. Increased sales are huge. Now, the biggest negative about setting up FBA Global Export is, I can't think of something. Seriously, I really cannot think of a negative. And now, there are, negative experiences as with anything. So let's go through a few of the most commonly questions that people ask me about FBA Global Export, and I will be able to tell you there's nothing to worry about. The first thing I hear is like, well, if I sell internationally with FBA Global Export, is that going to increase buyer fraud? Are there going to be more people who are trying to take advantage of me by saying an item didn't arrive or saying that they got all sorts? Is that going to increase? And in my experience, and I've been selling on Amazon since 2011, I have not had any kind of increase in buyer fraud by international sellers. It just hasn't happened. Yes, there's been fraud going on, but there's also fraud going on by U.S. buyers and customers. So it's just, it's about the same. Someone asked, well, will I get increased returns? And again, in my experience, it's been about the same or actually less. I've actually received less returns because most people who are buying something internationally, once they get it, they don't want to go through all the trouble of trying to figure out how to return it and take care of all the international shipping fees and paperwork and stuff. So it's a hassle. So I actually have less returns when it comes to selling internationally. And speaking of that, the next question I hear is, how are international returns handled? Well, again, the glory and awesomeness of Amazon FBA is that Amazon takes care of all of that. Just like with selling to U.S.-based customers, Amazon takes care of all the customer service, including returns. So if an international buyer wants to return something, Amazon takes care of the return process and, of course, reimburses you if they don't ever actually follow up by, sending the item back. And if you ever have an example, or if you ever have a situation where your international person, they got a refund, but they never actually returned the item, you can go through the steps at fulltimefba.com/returns to help you figure out how to really make sure that you get that reimbursement that you are, that you deserve. Another thing people ask is this going to increase my negative feedback? And while there might be some cultural or translation differences. Maybe there's not a clear understanding of what's expected when it comes to feedback or the product. It's a possibility, but a lot of the times it's not going to increase your negative feedback. Most of the time, if there's a problem, the feedback can easily be removed by opening up a ticket with Seller Central, or even sometimes communicating with the customer themselves. So I don't see an increase in my negative feedback just by doing international sales. 3 more things. People ask, are there additional fees? And yes, there are additional fees, but you don't pay them. The customer who is the international customer wanting to buy from you will pay any additional fees, and they'll know that up front. It's not going to be like they're shocked and they're upset because there's all these extra fees. They will know up front that there are going to be extra fees that they're going to have to pay, and they know that because they're buying something from another country, so they know that there's going to be more fees. And another question people ask is, do I need to deal with international sales tax? The quick answer to that is Amazon takes care of that. You don't need to worry about that. But as always, be sure you look into the FBA Global Export guidelines and rules just in case anything is updated or changed from the last time I looked at it. And then the last thing people talk about when they're worried about selling internationally with FBA Global Export is, what if I don't want some of my items to be shipped internationally? Maybe there's certain items that I just want to be shipped here in the United States. And yes, you can set up specific ASINs to just be exempt from being offered internationally. So those are the main worries that I hear most people say when they're dealing with FBA Global Export. And for me, it's not anything really to worry about at all. It's things that there's no really big negative. All I see is positives. In fact, I see dollar signs because there are more sales, more customers who are viewing my products, and they're buying them, and that's really good. In fact, it leads to more increased positive feedback because I get more sales. More sales lead to more positive feedbacks. So check it out. You can go to fulltimefba.com/global-export for more information about it. And I don't think it's anything to worry about. In fact, I think it's something that will really help your Amazon business in the long run. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you scroll down, you could leave a comment, like this video, leave us a question. You can also find all the links that we talked about in this video. You can find that in the description below. And be sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We got so many more videos coming up. We don't want you to miss out on anything. And as always, the best place to find all the information of turning part-time hours into a full-time income is the website fulltimefba.com. I'll see you there.